Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another series review. I just watched QOTS. The episode was called El Cuerpo de Cristo, or The Body of Christ. And it also occurred in Corpus Christi. And Huero was back. I thought Huero was dead. And of course, when you're dealing with characters of the underground, if they're whacked, then most likely they are dead. But I think I missed something because I'm not sure how Huero actually was undetected for such a long period of time, but he managed to slip past being discovered, I guess. But it was surprising. I thought Huero was alive, and I thought, well, good. Teresa could get back together with Huero, and because I ship it very, very heartily. Yeah, I'm so much like Nebita is not even funny. But anyways, back to the episode at hand. This was probably one of the best episodes I've seen in a long time. We see the lead of the cartel and her husband, or they're at odds, but yet they're together. It's a very prickly, unusual sort of kind of relationship. And what happens is she sends Teresa out on a mission to meet King George because he has a lot. He's a rich son of a you-know-what. And I don't like him. I thought, this guy is the epitome of every male chauvinist I absolutely hate. But he even asks Huero and Teresa to wear his golden insignia, and they don't want any part of it. Oh no, we're here for business. And Teresa makes it very implicit that she wants it done immediately, and her boss sent her there for a purpose, and she doesn't have a lot of time to waste, so she gets right down to brass tacks with the golden gun. Points it right at him. And there's a reference to Captain Phillips because he has Somali associates, so it's really funny. I thought, oh, we're being racist. But it was amusing, I thought. And of course, the other cartel owner, he's at home. He says, where's Isabella, his daughter? And of course, the other man, he's there, and he says, you don't need to worry about your daughter, she's in good hands. I thought, that doesn't sound very appealing or pleasing at all. It sounds rather flippant, curt, and contrite. And he's up to something, and he had actually roasted his friend on a spit because he said, oh, he squealed like a pig. A filthy, disgusting pig. And I thought, oh, he's going to be on the spit. Bam, he was on the spit. I thought, I predicted that. And of course, the captain just, he weeps for the loss of his friend. But the other captain says, you were at once with odds at me. Please reconsider and join me like your fellow conquistadors did of the past. And of course, this is an offer he can't refuse. If he continues to be at odds with this captain, or the capo, I guess you could call him another capo, but then he will die a terrible death. He will probably be the next one to be roasted on a spit. So he knows that despite the fact that he loathes this man, they form an alliance. And it's getting very interesting. I like the fact that she gives her boss the book that Huero gave her. And I thought, yeah, I mean, I knew it was coming to that. But she realizes, I'm thinking that she has an underlining kind of modus operandi to get herself to the top. Because we see her, of course, in the white. I always like the fact that they put her in a white pantsuit, because she just looks completely incredible. I hate really violent lightning. It scares me. I'm sorry. But it was just another visual representation of the fact that she is anything but innocent and anything but pure. And she actually kills, after she makes rather ecstatic love. Well, it's very passionate and it's extremely fiery. She shoots him in cold blood in her own room. It's this white room, and you think, well, that's a stark contrast between what she appears to be and her real character, which is sinister. And yeah, it's very interesting. When she goes to meet King George again, she's with this man who is supposedly he's repenting for his past sins, and he says, when I was here before, I've done horrible things, and I regret what I've done, yet I've redeemed myself. I've been exonerated. And of course, her boss says, did you really believe all that malarkey? Of course, she doesn't use the word malarkey, but um, Teresa probably had a feeling in her gut that he was, well, I don't know. I think that she was taken for a loop. I think that she really did believe him, and she was swayed. And that's not really like Teresa, because she's very street smart and she has the street savoir faire. But I'm very intrigued about where this season's going, because I really like Queen of the South, and I think that it does a spectacular job of storytelling. We didn't see what we did in the first episode when we know how this is going to end. She's going to get high off her own supply and die. But I don't know, maybe that's not going to happen. But from what I've assessed from first season in and of itself, you think, why am I still watching when I already know what the end's going to be? It just, the reason would be because the writing is so extraordinarily good and the cast is phenomenal, and Teresa is my favorite character of all the other characters because she's just completely badass. She takes everything into her own hands. She's very intimidating. She's a woman on a mission to become the boss, basically, of everything. And she's going to climb her way to the top one way or another. And we all realize where she was before, so it's going to be intriguing to see how far she goes, because we already kind of know what the end result is. However, question is how she get there, and this is basically her echelon to that point. And yeah, I love it. Because I'm a huge fan of the mafia, and similar to that, the cartel is very akin, because it's all family business. And I don't know why I'm so fascinated with it. It's just the whole dynamic, the way it works, the seedy underground, the backstabbing, the drama, the the betrayal. This just, whoa! You think, yeah, this is akin to something that would happen back in the days of the Borgias, or actually, it reminds me of The Family. The first real mafia began with, I forget what the family was, but the writer of The Godfather, oh my gosh, those books are so good. But that's one of my favorite books of all time. And The Family actually begins in during the Renaissance and medieval times, and it was basically born out of the church. Actually, there's a lot of truth of the mafia coming out of the Holy Roman Empire and all of that. And my uncle told me that there's a true story that the soldiers had come. I don't know if I'm going to get this right or not, but the soldiers had come. The daughters were in danger, and they were being raped and whatnot. And of course, there was a cry of mafia. My daughter, mafia, mafia, and that became a big thing. And they all gathered together to protect their daughters from being raped by these soldiers that came in. to basically do whatever they wanted through military force. I forget what year it was, but thinking late 1800s. I don't remember. I need to ask him. But the mafia, it was in America. It was based off of immigrants, mainly Italian immigrants. That you had some Irish, you had some Jewish, you had some German, but the Italians wanted to make it all pure Italian. They wanted to keep, everybody else away. It was like in the family, blood. So it's the same thing with this. It's all in the family. They're very close knit, and even if it is your family, sometimes you can't trust your own family members. So it's very, yeah. You think, I gotta watch behind my back, sleep with one eye open, keep a baseball bat next to my bed, and pack a gun underneath my pillow just in case, and God forbid somebody tried to whack me. But yeah, you get really paranoid when you're doing stuff like that because you think, somebody else wants my position. But it's just the dynamic, the methodology, and the psychology or the psychosis behind it. It's very fascinating, and I've always been so intrigued by it and just transfixed, and I always will be so long as I live, just because I feel like I think I had a past life as a mob boss, but, I was shot. I wrote a story about it, but I was not one of the, I didn't get high off my own supply, but I sold, well, through associates in my dreams, I can remember this, I sold to other people. I sold through my associates. I sold arms and drugs and sex and the usual stuff. But I was very benevolent and good-willed, and there were people that were jealous in my own family. Well, no, they weren't in my own family, but they were thinking about rising through the ranks, and they plotted against me. Basically, what I can remember from the dream is this. My wife, she had really curly blonde hair, and I had a son. He was going to be the one who succeeded me. And, I was in a pinstripe suit, a fedora. I mean, it looked really good. And I'm just sitting at this big office chair, kind of, not really caring. And it's like, boss, we need to see you. We have a meeting. We need to talk to you. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll come. And I didn't think anything of it. And my wife and son came out before me, and Tommy guns went off, and all I remember is that, and then she went down first. My son went down second, and then I was his third. Everything went black. We all died at the same time. And I'm not sure who took over, but it was the weirdest dream, and it was lucid, and everything went through. I've had dreams like this before. That was probably the most lucid. I thought, oh my God. I said, Dad, I was a mob boss. He's like, how do you even know that? I'm like, I was a mob boss, trust me. And he's looking at me like, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. But yeah, that wasn't a very pleasant existence. That's why I think that's why I can relate so well to these shows. Like my favorite was The Sopranos, but QOTS is the best one thus far. But I'm looking forward to further shows in the future, and we'll see where they go. So until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti.